What's good, Illumineers? My Lorcana fam out there. AZ Aquaman here with another video for you guys. So for today's video, we all know that the new set 7 Arcasia's Island is just around the corner. So I figured I'd do a deck profile on this deck. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be running this color next set. I think it's really good, and on top of that, it's actually super fun to play. And I'm very happy with this build right here. So with that said, we are going to do this deck profile on the Emerald Sapphire Mufasa, because we have the cows and Mufasa in this. You guys know I like to try to splash little Mufasa on wherever I can, I guess. But here it is. Emerald Sapphire deck profile. Like normal, I'll try to make this short and sweet, and then towards the end I'll throw in and show a little bit of like interaction with some of the cards and stuff. All right, here we go. So for our 1-drops, 3 ice blocks. This will be utilized on your opponent and on your character sometimes, depending on what's happening on board and what type of plays you want to be doing depending on the situation. So I was running 2. Honestly, guys, I didn't see it enough. I didn't see it enough that I wanted at least 1 or 2 ice block on board, because there's a lot of amethyst running around, and you know there are a lot of bigger characters. There's a lot of 4s and 3 strength characters that we need to lower their strengths. So, and also steel's running around. You know, you have Calhoun's and Mr. Shmee's and Lawrence's. We need to lower down their strength so we can bounce them in their hand. So I like 3. I'm only running 3 Clarabelles. I think 3's plenty. We see her enough. I was running 4. It felt like it was too much. If I had room, I'd probably put 4 back in, but I don't. It's just with how things are right now, and and also steel's running around like crazy. So it's like, playing this turn 1, more than likely it's probably going to get sniped out. So, yeah. 3's plenty, in my opinion. One of the MVPs of the deck. I said one of the MVPs. Tipo puts in work. Not only does he ramp up on turn 2, so we could drop our turn 4s on turn 3, he's an excellent singer, because we have plenty of 2-drop songs we can be singing, comboing with our muses. And also with muse, well, I'll actually go through some of the interactions later, but so 4 Tipos, 2 Mother Gothels. We are running the Big Shift Mother Gothel, and she's just a good target. Also, she's technically a 5-drop, but yeah, so she's a 2-drop, but technically a 5-drop, because you need to pay 3 on top of her cost to bounce a character on board. And as you can guys see here, it says return chosen character to their player's hand. So this can go either from their board or your board. So I'm running 2 strike a good match. Just a good song to sing for Tipo, or if you don't have Tipo, it's just a nice cheap song to play to utilize the muse's ability to bounce characters. And on top of that, it's nice to draw cards and then just filter through your deck to look for the cards we need. So draw 2 cards, discard a card. Heffalum's and Woozles, another nice 2-drop character to be sang with either Mother Gothel or Tipo. It just helps slow down your opponent, especially if you're playing against like aggro matchups. It's just nice to slow down one of their heavy questers and then bounce another small quester from Muse. And on top of that, you get to draw a card. 4 ofs. I tried running 3. I know it's player preference in my opinion, but I'm just used to 4 visions. I like 4 visions. 3 visions didn't feel right. I know it's okay with some players to run 3. I tried 3 and it worked well. It's just, for me, just having another inkable card that lets you filter through your deck. I mean, it's 5 cards, guys. You get choose whatever 5 cards you want on top of your deck, which is crazy if you have a good setup. So I went back to 4 visions. Another 4 ofs here. Sail the Azurite Sea. Just another alternative for a turn 2 ramp, so we can get to our turn 4 muses, or turn 4 Grandma Talas, I guess, if you don't have the muse. It's just another good alternative route for a ramp. Running 3 Mother Knows Best. So this one, I was running 4. So I switched out 1 Mother Knows Best and went back to my 4th vision, because I was running 4 Mother Knows Best and then 3 visions. This card works well, but having 4, at least for me, it felt like I was getting too much, and it started to get too clunky. And I think I felt it because it is an inkable card. So I took 1 out. Now 3's running perfect. It feels way better. And then I put in another vision, which is another good card, and on top of that, it's inkable. So that's that. 3 Mother Knows Best. I can't talk right now. God damn it. Okay. The super MVP of the deck, I think, which basically what the deck revolves around. 4 muses. She can do so many things. Just bouncing either your character or your opponent's board, controlling the board. I'll do more stuff about this later. And then another alternative 4-drop Grandma. She's got a nice 3/3 body to at least crash into things if we needed. She's a great singer, and what's more important is we get to filter at least, or scry, 2 cards on top of the deck and then pick a card. So she basically replaces herself. Another one of my favorite cards here. I like You're Welcome at 4. I know locations are still around, and this deck, a lot of our peeps here are low strength, or some of the higher strength. I guess we need to utilize the ability to exert and quest instead. So it's like you almost don't want to be used, and they're higher questers. You almost don't want to be like using your turn just challenging locations unless you really need to. So You're Welcome helps with that. Not only does it remove locations, it removes basically anything, characters, locations, items, but that character or that player draws 2 cards. And it doesn't have to be with your opponent also. You can do this to yourself. So if you are running out of cards, maybe you have a Tipo on board, just quest with Tipo and then like put Tipo back into your deck so you could draw 2 cards, something like that, if you need cards. 3 ofs. 3, how far I'll go. I tried 4. I like 4 or I like 3. It's just, honestly, I needed to move some cards around because I like my uninkable count in this deck as low as I can. I believe I have 14 uninkables right now. So if I wanted to, I guess I could bump it up to 15 uninkables and put a 4th one in. But as of right now, 3's working fine with me. 2 Mother Gothel. I thought I had a foily one of these. Oh, dang it. I gotta find it. It's here somewhere. All right, 2 Mother Gothels, because we do have the small Mother Gothel, so it's a good shift target. And she's just another nice 6-drop character that bounces one of your opponent's character to slow them down and put cards back in their hand also. And another good quester, because this deck is control-y, so it is on the slow end, so we do need some questing power. All right, so here it is. Went back and forth with this. So I was going back and forth with Genies and John Silvers, testing them both out as much as I can. Final verdict. I just like the John Silvers. So I like the John Silvers over the Genie. I'll give you the pros and cons. So the Genie, obviously, pros are you can bounce anything on board. So you could bounce your character or your opponents. And on top of that, he is evasive. The only problem I have with Genie is, one, he is uninkable. So you're increasing your uninkable count again. Which, like I said, I try to make this as low as uninkable count as possible. Two, with some of my matchups, like for example Emerald Amethyst, where you play Genie, most of their things that they can bounce back actually hurts me. Like, you're actually almost giving them the advantage by playing a Genie on your, on your turn and bouncing one of their things, because most of their stuff, like, it helps them. Like, they have Ursula, so you don't want to be bouncing Ursula. They have goats. They have Go-Go's. They have White Rose. Essentially, the only thing that doesn't really hurt them is like if you bounce their little characters like Brooms and Chernobygs and Diablos. But a lot of the times against that matchup, like bouncing characters on their board felt really bad on my part. And I think we do have enough characters and songs in this deck, and obviously the Muse, to be bouncing characters anyway. So I like the Genie also, but I think it felt a little overkill. So John Silver, his pros, not only is he inkable, so our inkable count is higher, way higher. He's a 5/5, so he's one of the characters that we have to quest to pop his ability. I mean, if needed, at least he's a 5/5 that could trade off to things, multiple little characters, or at least slam into a location if we needed. But he slows down your opponent by giving them Reckless when he's played on board and when he quests. So it is nice to just quest with this, and then maybe throw in another bigger character, like I'll show you later, like Peter Pan. So actually, yeah, let's just go over this now. So it's nice to slow your opponent down to quest, and then maybe have like another big character on board, So if you have a couple of big characters on board, not only do you slow their little characters down, they're basically just don't turn like your one strength characters at that point. Because let's say they have daisies or I don't know, Piglet, the high questing Piglet. You give one of them Reckless, just don't turn one of your lower characters that has one strength. Just leave all your bigger characters exerted, so they have to run into them, and essentially you're slowing him down, and you're removing one of their vital high questing characters their turn. So that's a very, very versatile move that John Silver can do. And it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I like I said, I tested both of them. I know some people prefer the Genies, which it isn't bad, but at least for me as a player, I guess, I like the John Silver, and that's why I'm running 3. So, 2 ofs, Peter Pan. It's just got a nice 4/6 body that somewhat slows your opponent down if really, really needed, and it's like our last resort. So he comes in exerted, and then your opponent has to challenge before they can gain any lures. So yeah, well, this character is exerted. Each opposing characters can't gain lore unless one of their characters has challenged this turn. So it's a nice like stall card almost. Or the other thing is, you're basically, since he's a 4/6, you're basically essentially almost having one of their guys trade with this before they can quest. And another added bonus, like I said, with locations, if we don't have the You're Welcomes, this is a nice answer to your opponent's locations, because when you play this comes in exerted, and then let's say you pass your turn, your opponent can't get that passive lore from their locations because they haven't challenged yet for their turn. So they miss the timing on their location passive lore they get. So that's another good way to get around locations, is the 2 Peter Pans. One of the super MVPs here too. We gotta have the cows. We got Clarabelle's, one of our big draw engines here, and another good body at 5/6 that could quest for 2. Everyone knows Clarabelle, so don't really need to explain about that. 2 Bend to My Will. You time this card right, it's literally GG. Like, good game. It's game's over if you time this right. This card's just freaking devastating, guys. It's just this card's nuts. This card's busted as hell. So 2. And I am running 2 Under the Sea because we are running the triple ice blocks now. We have like muses that have ward that could stick around on board, and also other characters that could sing together. And this is almost like our, I don't want to like really compare it to B prep, because B prep's like easier to pull off, I guess, because you just play B prep, you wipe out the board. But essentially it is a nice almost reset card, especially against like aggressive decks or decks that like to go wide. If you have 2 muses on board, or at least 2 muses in Grandma Tala, like, it's nice to hit that board state, and it makes a huge difference. I was actually only running 1, and sometimes I would have to ink this with Tipo, because I would get it like in my mulligan in my early hand, which it sucks, because knowing only running 1 and then having to ink it, I already know like if they go wide, I might be screwed. So at least I like running 2 now. It doesn't really get stuck in my hand, because if it does come in early, I could just Tipo it. But I like 2. And last but not least, you guys already know, we got to put some splash of that Mufasa magic. When he does come in, he puts in work, and if he sticks, that's another GG. It's another good game, because you're essentially getting 2 turns. And he has high questing power. So one of is perfect. I was putting 2, and just I love Mufasa. That's why I run the Steel Mufasa 2. But 2 felt a little too much. Okay? 1 is absolutely perfect, because we have so much draw in this and filtering with this deck anyways. You'll probably see him. You only like 1 is absolutely perfect. And if you play him, essentially you're almost like drawing 2 cards too, because you're getting 2 cards from your Inkwell. And if he sticks, yeah, it's lights out. So we have Big Boy Mufasa. All right, some of the interactions here. I guess we'll just throw in a few ice blocks there. A few muses are there. Maybe a little Tipo action here. Maybe a song. We'll just do this example. Just like little interactions here. Let me see. Anything else? We won't go too crazy on this, because I don't want the video too long. I think this should be good. All right, so here's some. Let me just get the Mufasa. Some stuff you can do, or you can have 2, but I'll just leave it like this. So some interactions you can do depending on the board state. Like, a lot of the times you don't want to be turning muses, because this is like your bread and butter with everything. But there are instances where you have to slam into things. Don't be afraid to do that, guys, because just having muse stand there and do nothing sometimes might cost you the game. So you just have to check the board state and see how you're doing, and then see how far the lower counts are, because sometimes you do need to have the muse like crashing into things if needed. But that's why ice block is there, because it's nice, you know, to ice block something, or 2 double ice block or triple ice block something, and muse doesn't take any damage, which is nice. So like some interaction like this. Oh, actually, Mother Knows Best is a good one. There, we'll do this. Just like little simple interactions here. So we'll go with the board state of you want to try to control stuff. What you can do is maybe slam into something with Grandma Tala, and then quest with Tipo, or sing, whichever one you want to do depending on the situation. Let's just say I quested with Tipo. So a good reaction would be like, oops, I hate doing it that way. I actually like playing the card first and then paying the cost, which is, so play the card, sing. So not only did you kill a character, so this is when, if you want to try to control the board, not only did you kill a small character with Grandma Tala, you could actually probably do ice block too, like that if you wanted, but it doesn't matter. Kill a character, bounce a character, and what you can do is trig now after this resolves, or remember, these two go in the bag, so you can resolve either one, right, when you play this. I'm just resolving Mother Knows Best first. So we killed one, we bounced one with Muse. Now, if you wanted, trigger, now Muse's trigger this Muse to bounce something else, and then trigger this Muse to bounce bounce Tipo. And if you want to reuse him or anything like that, just replay him and then put back this. So it gives you another inkwell. In the inkwell, if you have like big characters like this that it's just stuck in your hand. Or also, this is perfect, like if you do have Big Clarabelle on board too. Let's say you have Big Clarabelle on board and you just want to dump your whole hand as much as you can. That would be another good thing, is to just sing, quest, bounce Tipo, play Tipo, ink this, and if you have an ink for turn, just ink your card, and then now you can have max value on Clarabelle. Another instance is, let's say you're running low on cards now, okay? So what you can do is do the same thing, maybe challenge a character to control it, but this time ice block the character so Grandma doesn't get damaged, okay? Oops. And then sing or quest with Tipo, whatever you're doing. Or you can, like I said, you can sing with this. It depends on the board state, but I'm just showing like some of the interactions you can do. And then you can play Mother Knows Best and then sing it with Muses again. Okay, so you're controlling the board, you're bouncing something, you're triggering this, bounce another character, and then, oh, this is the interaction we just did. So after Grandma, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna ice block the character and then ice block Grandma. This is the situation when we're trying to filter and try to get more cards in. So we ice block the character, crash Grandma into it. We quest with Tipo. We ice block Grandma first, and then sing Mother Knows Best. Bounce another character, trigger one of the Muse, bounce another character, and then trigger your second Muse to bounce Grandma, and then pay 4 to play Grandma again to fill and grab 2 more cards. So now you could possibly get another song, which you have Muse to sing if needed. Just, that's the kind of interactions you can do. What's another good one? This is another good one right here. So it's not just, this is the stuff where I'm saying it's not, the bouncing is not just to slow down your opponents. It is, but you want to utilize it for yourself. So sometimes if you do have like this shift target here, this is nice. Like if you played this previous turn and let's say you shift over it, and whether you quest or sing a song, let's just say you quested, okay? You can double ice block your Mother Gothel to put her to 2, and then so you're not using your ink, sing with Tipo. So I'm gonna play Huffalum and Woozles, sing it with Tipo, slow down an opponent's questing power, so they can't quest. You draw a card, okay? That trigger, that resolves. Now these two trigger. Use one of the Muse to bounce the Mother Gothel. Now you have both your bouncers back in your hand, and then use this one to bounce another character. And then more than likely you'll probably have more ink in the inkwell. So depending on their board state, if they only have one character, pay the 6 for Big Mother Gothel to bounce their character. Or if they have a bigger character that you want to put back in their hand, pay the 5 to bounce one of their characters. So yeah, those are the type of interactions you can do. There's more, guys. Like, this deck gets crazy. It's so much fun to play. There's so much things you can do. Like I said, I don't want to get the video too crazy long, but those are some of like the interactions you can pull off. You can pull off a lot more, you know, like even with, let's see, this is my last one right here. Okay, I think this is it. And this happens, this will happen. I need some songs, and then, you know, let's see. Let's do You're Welcome. So here's another, let's take out the Tipo. Oops. Take out the ground. So you should have at least 7, maybe 7 to 10 by now if this board state looks like this for your inkwell. So more than likely the previous turn we probably popped off Clarabelle, so we've got tons of cards in hands, right, from the previous turn. So like the GG devastating move that you can do, really. Well, before that, so another good thing with Clarabelle is this is where your welcome shines, is it gets nuts. So you can literally, so this is how you can just grab a bunch of cards from your opponent. So let's say they have 3 or 4 characters on board. Play Mother Knows Best and sing it with Muse. So trigger Mother Knows Best, bounce one of their big characters. Trigger Muse, bounce a small one, bounce a small one. Or you could bounce a small one, bounce a small one, and then trigger these and bounce the 2 smaller ones. Because if you wanted, this would probably be the better play, and sing You're Welcome with the Muse, and then put back their bigger character, so they draw 2 cards. So they just returned, what, 3 or 4 cards and drew 2. That's 6 cards you just gave them on top of like whatever cards they have on board. And then you might have like 2 cards left, which these 2 are just like devastating on your follow-up turn. So if Clarabelle's not going to be in danger, go ahead and quest. If it seems like something's going to happen, probably don't quest with her. But I'll probably quest with Clarabelle and then pass turn. So you're probably grabbing like, they probably have like 8 to 10 cards in hand. And so you're going to draw 6. Or maybe more, depending on their hand size. But yeah, so you just replenish your hand, and then they pass turn, you pass turn. And then now they have to set up again. So they'll probably drop a few of their smaller characters and maybe a big character here and there. So now it's your turn. So your follow-up turn, this is basically where it's going to be GG. So I don't know. You have a bunch of cards in hand because of Clarabelle. Now, just ink for turn, whatever you're going to ink. And then we're going to do some more bounce-a-roonies here. So we're actually, what you're going to do is I would sing Mother Knows Best to bounce. Let's say they got 1 or 2 big characters, because we don't have ice blocks. So hypothetically, let's say we don't have ice blocks. So we can't hit those characters with the Muses. So we'll hit one of the big characters with Mother Knows Best, and then hit a small character with both of these if needed. Okay. And then all you're gonna do basically after that is just sing Under the Sea, and then take or put back whatever characters they have left. They might have 2 or 3 small characters left. Wipe out their board, and then pay 7 to bend my will, and discard their probably, I don't know, 6, 7, or 8 cards in hand. And yeah, that combo you can pull off. Like, it's pretty nutty. It's not like a once rare occasion. Like, you have enough draw power and filtering power where that's the right combo. You know, you can follow up a Clarabelle with. And at that point, with no cards in hand, your board state's starting to look good. You have tons of cards in hand, and they're top decking every turn basically. And then you have muses to just keep bouncing and controlling their board. It's basically game. It doesn't matter if you're like at 0 lore and they're at like 18. If you pull that off, it's more than likely GG. More than likely. Oh no, you're stepping on Clarabelle, bro. Ooh. Okay. Well, that's some of the crazy shenanigans this deck has to offer. Like I said, I think this deck is super good. It's solid. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is like, I've been playing Lorcana since Floodborn. That's when I started playing. And hands down, from then till today, this deck, honestly, it's the most fun I've played any decks. This deck is just super fun, and on top of that, it's actually really good. So, hope you guys like the deck profile. Hope you guys like the content and the videos. If you do, please like and subscribe. And like I said before, if not, I appreciate you watching the videos anyways. So, till next time.